guys. Welcome to SoulWhat, a Soultopia podcast. My name is Michelle Welch.
And I'm Roger Welch. So what's up today, Michelle?
Today we are going to be talking about animal and nature omens.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we kind of got this idea because of walking around our neighborhood.
Yeah.
You want to tell them why?
We were behind our house is a little creek that runs up, a couple of little natural lakes there off the golf course. And the geese have a nest up there, and we were talking about the eggs there and what it means to find a nest of eggs.
Right. So we posted something yesterday, just a little, hey, you guys, I think it was yesterday. Sunday. Time? I've said
But
this
close.
before. Time used to mean nothing to me, and now it, obviously, we're a little bit late tonight. That's on me. I was writing, and all of a sudden I was like, whoa, it is time
to go.
Yeah, it's not just time to go, it's time to be there. So I wrote all day. But anyway,
Good thing
so
we're close.
We posted a little video showing the those eggs are large.
One of them was like the side of Fred here.
And actually, it probably is. So there were 4 there. One, I don't know. Are there runts?
Could be, yeah.
Because one was little or
One was
smaller, quite a bit smaller.
Actually, it was smaller than a small chicken egg. But if you think about it, you go to the grocery store, you buy eggs in different sizes.
Yeah, but I don't buy goose eggs, so I don't know.
I guess if you catch goose eggs young enough, I guess you could scramble them.
Well, don't say that.
Oh, don't say that.
No.
We
No,
do
no,
that
no,
to
no,
chicken
no.
eggs.
So everybody in our neighborhood is
eggs.
highly protective of these eggs. There's not only these that are on the large lake, is what at Hole 9.
Yes, Hole
9.
Of
course.
Mm-hmm.
There's another lake. There's 6 lakes in this neighborhood of ours. There's one that's over kind of on a little island or peninsula.
It's like a little peninsula. Yeah, the lake's kind of shaped, kind of kidney shaped. It has a little peninsula that comes off of one side of it.
Right. So there's another one over there, and everybody's been protective of those eggs. Haven't seen those in a while. We fish over there. There's also that's where the 3 to 4 foot moccasin is over there too.
Yeah.
And so haven't seen it, but people have. But there were 4 eggs there. I think one of the eggs was broken over there though. But she will hiss at you. They both will.
Yeah, she doesn't like you over there messing with her eggs.
Nobody's messing with them.
No.
Well, the dog, not our dogs, but I've seen some dogs that don't know that
Yeah.
people are walking, kind of get close, but then they quickly are very respectful of the eggs. So the sign of those, people know pretty easily what that would be. Well, first of all, omens aren't always bad. So a lot of people think that because when you say the word omen, maybe I'm the only one who thought that had a negative connotation.
I think it's because people tend to talk about that side of it more, about the negative side of it.
Because maybe it's more interesting to think, ooh,
yeah,
an omen, a crow flies into, a bunch of crows fly into a window. That must mean something bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably what it is.
Right.
Or they're scared of it because, omens for death, because they see a blackbird. Ooh. Well,
Yeah.
They don't think about the fact there's other things out that, that are positive.
Right. So the omens, I was sort of interested because they can be positive.
Mm-hmm.
They can be things in nature. They can be all kinds of things, not just animals. And they're different than animal totems. So they might kind of overlap. But the eggs, of course, that's a new life.
Mm-hmm.
Represents really good fortune and new life. And people were real quick to answer that.
They were.
When we said, what is that? And they were really quickly on the live feed to say what that was. And to know that was a positive thing. They weren't quick to say, oh, that's a negative thing, right? But it is different than an animal totem or animal guide that we've talked about before, where you might, or even a message from an animal. It kind of overlaps, though, with that message from an animal, if you'd have a dream about it.
Right.
But I did look it up because I kind of wanted to know, what's the difference, maybe even between signs and omens? Do you know?
No.
I'm not trying to trick you, but I was just, somebody distinguished, and it was pretty consistent, that the distinguishing thing between signs and omens were that signs would appear like in moments when we have something like maybe difficult, or where we're kind of wanting an answer, or we should be on the watch for them when we're trying to make a decision or something like that. We're looking
so
for
an answer to a
help,
question or help.
consulting an oracle. You need guidance. You have a question, and you're looking for signs, right?
Okay.
Okay. And so then, like an omen, on the other hand, would come without any prior request.
Like a
So-
prediction?
Well, like a what?
Prediction?
No, it's just like no request. So you're walking along and you're just caught off guard. So you're not going out looking to see what you can find in nature. You're just walking along, and all of a sudden you're face to face with a snake. And it's looking at you, and you're looking at it, and you're like, oh, wait, what the heck? There's a snake.
Well, if
Why
I'm-
is it there?
Face to face?
Well, yeah, maybe.
He's
Yeah.
hanging from the tree,
And so,
swinging from the vines, hanging from
so
the tree.
and so it might be also that the omen is kind of, a lot of times they're in a kind of a bizarre or somewhere you wouldn't expect it to be. So that's a little different than a sign too. So like if you're all of a sudden you see, like I will tell you, I think this probably was an omen more than an animal totem. It was in Frisco, and in the neighborhood I used to live in, and they were doing a lot of construction, but I was driving at night, and I saw a little fox family. It was 3. It seemed like it was probably the mom and 2 little ones walking behind it, crossing the road over into where they were building one of the really, really large houses. So it was a very big lot of land, right?
Yeah.
And it was just being started to build. Like I think maybe the foundation, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And there were little fox. I mean, that's pretty out of the ordinary, right? We'd seen bobcats, maybe some other things, coyotes, but that was a little bit out of. I was like, am I just kind of that a vision? Or I'm imagining that? No, they were definitely there. So that was kind of out of place, kind of not something, kind of a little conspicuous, standing out a little bit, kind of a little. So it could be mysterious, something like that. That's an omen. So you're not expecting it. It kind of comes out of nowhere. You're not asking for a sign.
Right.
Yeah. That may be why sometimes they're a little bit scary.
Right.
Because you're going, what the, because there it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So, and it usually indicates something. It is prophetic, though. So it's usually something, and it's ominous, but that's an omen. So it's not always bad, right? And so it's important. It can be a prophetic event. That something that's about to occur that is not. So just like it would be out of the ordinary, the situation is out of the ordinary. So that's why people might think, oh, it's going to predict a death, or it's going to be something, but it could be something really good out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Right?
Right. I like that.
Yeah. So that snake thing, yeah, if you're walking along and all of a sudden snake is looking at you on the road, or up ahead of you, and kind of you feel like it catches your eye and you're looking at the snake, that might be out of the ordinary. To me, it would be. What about you?
All right. I agree. I buy it. I
Okay.
buy it.
All right.
So he sneaks, pops his head up, says, "Hi, check me out.
Yeah.
I got a message for you.
Yeah.
Don't go down this road.
It might be.
Turn back."
It might be. And snakes aren't always bad. It could be a good message.
Could be.
Yeah. So what do you think is the difference with the superstition?
I believe that comes from where people have seen things cross the path of a black cat, and bad things happened after the fact.
Right. So they develop a belief
Exactly.
and they pass that down, and they decide if you see that all the time, that's what it's going to mean.
Exactly. You know
So
how many
it's
ladders I've walked under, and how many black cats crossed my path?
I thought you said lighters. Like,
Ladders. Like ladder.
was that bad?
Walking under a ladder? Yes.
Yeah. Is it?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
Is that a superstition?
Superstition.
Okay. So it's not an omen, obviously, and obviously it's not that
Open
bad.
an umbrella inside?
Yeah. I've heard of that, but
Yeah.
they don't bother me. Do you have any that bother?
No.
Oh, did you used to jump over like cracks in the sidewalk?
I jumped right on that crack.
You did? Oh my God, that sounds so bad. Okay. You did though?
Of course. There's a crack in the sidewalk. You got to jump on it.
Okay. So so the omen's like different than the superstition too. So a superstition is a belief not based on human reason or scientific knowledge that future events may be influenced by one's behavior in some magical or mystical way. So I think your definition was actually better than that one of superstition. Yeah. So we know they're not always bad. Omens. So you want to talk about some of them?
You got some good ones?
Did you find any?
Oh, you told me you had all of them.
I have some. Okay.
I did start. I'll get to mine.
He's Googling right now.
I'm not Googling right now. I had to switch over to a different screen.
I'm kidding. I actually said, do your homework.
I know. And then you told me, don't worry about it. Got it all covered here.
I do. I did do some
Where is it?
research.
Oh, here it is. I got it.
Okay.
Wait. It won't open. Damn it. Yes, I do have it. Yes.
Okay. Do you want me to start?
Go ahead.
Okay. So
What you have the same ones I have.
I bet. No, but it was interesting to me because a lot of the ones that I found, I started with the animals because they seem to tie into the nature, obviously, that is nature. And then they would kind of divide them into topics like weather can be an omen, like if some unexpected weather comes out of the blue. Like we've had a lot of that, right, in Texas?
Yeah.
Okay. Or, any nature type of thing that just, again, is just like unexpected.
Yeah.
So did you start with animals or did you start with something else?
No, go ahead.
Well, tell me.
I had a couple of different ones on here. I had I had animals. I had some animal stuff on here talking about like.
I did animals, so.
You did
if
animals.
You did something else. That's
Yep.
cool. Okay, so.
So weather.
All right.
I did have weather. That was actually when you said it. I was right here on the weather one.
Okay, tell me what you got about weather.
And then, it's weather magic. It talks about, but it also talks about the kind of what they call it divination and forecasting the actual control of the weather itself. It talks about the cloud formations, kind of almost basically like what you've been talking about with your class. What was it? 4 weeks ago, where you talked about the cloud scrying. Mm-hmm. Kind of some stuff like that where you see stuff in there. Dark clouds symbolizing rain coming,
But that's kind of obvious.
Yeah, that's kind of obvious, but if you think about it.
That can be an omen of something, like a predictor, I guess, of something
yeah.
to come. Yeah.
Trees.
Because it's ominous, I guess.
Yeah, ominous. Okay. Yep, trees.
Is ominous always bad? Because if omen's not bad, you would think ominous. Somebody.
Oh, you have to. Can somebody Google that and just
that.
actually just post it for us?
Yes, because if omen's not always bad, it seems like that word ominous comes from omen. I don't know.
So trees, like if a tree drops an acorn on you, that's good luck.
Yeah. Well, acorns, because acorns are good luck.
Yeah, it shows strength and power.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it seems like sometimes you can kind of tie them back to, like if you know about the tree that it comes from or what it comes from, then you can kind of go from there. So it does tie back into, or like what animal it comes from or it's associated with. You can kind of, you don't totally discount the animal totem and what you know about that, if you do know about it, or that if you don't want to call it totem, the animal guide, right?
Right.
Or the spirit animal, whatever you want to call your spirit, your animal guide. So
here's one I got for you. You'll love this one for your grandfather. If a squirrel starts gathering nuts early, it means a winter is coming harsh.
Okay.
Where your grandfather had his pet squirrel.
Well, so he loved squirrels. My grandfather was a farmer, and my grandmother and when we moved them to Longview, where I used to live, he would feed the squirrels, but he'd also, before he got to where he liked the squirrels, I actually ate squirrel one time.
Well, a lot of people have.
Ugh.
Put it in
I
some
ate
dumplings.
eel. Okay, this isn't the topic though. But we had sliding glass door out, and he had a recliner, and he'd say to my grandmother, "Open the door," and he'd say, "Now get me my rifle," and he'd want to shoot the squirrel out from his recliner out to through the. Yeah, and he's a pretty good aim. But then he befriended the squirrel.
Befriended the squirrels.
Yeah, they would come right up to him. Yeah.
Nice.
So, but what I found with the animals is a lot of times they were associated with, it goes all the way back to the goddess either in the Roman mythology or the Greek mythology, that there were, because, the Romans kind of took it from the Greeks, but so whichever one you want to call it, whoever they were associated with, they would, so for instance, if you know a lot about Athena, her animal was the owl. So that's a lot to do with wisdom and discernment. So an owl, what do you think?
Wisdom.
But, okay, so I sort of said that, but what else do you think about an owl? You think that'd be a good sign or a bad sign?
I would think that's a good sign.
Okay. What do y'all think? People listening.
People listening?
Don't look it up like I
What do you
did.
think? Tick-tock, tick-tock.
It can be good and bad.
Really?
Is the answer that I found.
So that sounds tricky.
So it's wisdom, but it depends on the culture. So in some places it could be like a sign of danger. But
Okay.
most of the time, it could be doom and danger, but most of the time it's associated with wisdom coming your way.
Yeah.
Okay? But other times it could be just a warning. So it's there to warn you of something and to be wise and to use your discernment. This makes sense to me. Because you remember before we moved, that owl?
Yeah.
In the middle of the
We
day.
listened to it all day long.
All day, in the middle of the day, because I do work with Athena, and it was all day long.
Yeah. All day.
All day.
Woo, woo, woo.
And Athena's all about knowing when to, because she will go to war, but she knows when to use strategy first. So she's all about using discernment and tact until she has to go to war. So she's all strategic until it's time to kick your butt, and then she will. So I think that's kind of the owl.
Yeah.
So if an owl to me, that was not normal for that owl to be just all during the day,
No.
right?
And a couple of times he was sitting on the peak of the house when we came in.
And it was just I don't think, but I do think it was a warning to get the heck out of that house,
Yeah, it
too,
was.
because that house just
Yeah.
was not good. So it's also I think what people think in certain cultures. Because some people think badly about snakes and spiders, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think about them?
Snakes. Actually, spiders don't bother me. Snakes don't bother me either, though.
So
But
they
I think
do-
with spiders, I think that actually, because if you think about how they build their webs, it could almost be looked at as a sign of protection
and connection.
and connection.
So it's so cool because that's my book's it talks about connection and transmutation. And so I was in my office writing, and I was really freaking out because I really wanted it helps for me to have somebody just to run it by and just to sort of listen. So Teddy was here and she's a college professor, and she was just kind of listening to it. And all of a sudden there was this little spider on the wall, and I was like, you were in the room, weren't you?
Yeah, I was sitting there.
And so
You'd
a
like-
spider actually means connectivity, which is a big part of my book. There's a whole chapter in it and about connectivity and oneness with all, but it also means friend. And she had showed up to help me because I really was feeling like I'm sinking. I just need somebody to tell me if this makes sense, because I was adding in some parts, right?
Yeah.
And so it stands for a friend, and so then all of a sudden there was this just spider climbing on the wall. And believe me, I'm not going to be real happy if there's spiders just climbing on the wall in my...
He's a little bitty spider.
It was,
He's an
but...
itty bitty spider.
Yeah, and then Teddy was like, no, don't hurt it. And I'm like, okay. But, yeah. So it's an omen of this is okay.
Yeah.
This is good. You got a friend here to help you. That's what I think.
That's good.
Because, it was about me because it was in my office.
Yeah, yeah.
It was about her being a friend, actually, is what it was about. What about... Let's talk about crows and ravens.
Okay. Crows and ravens.
What do you think?
A lot of people, they think of them as actual negative omens because they're blackbirds. But I think with ravens, I would think that would be messages coming.
Well, because lots of birds are messengers.
Yeah, they're messengers, but ravens, because they're so vocal, strong messages coming through.
Okay.
What'd you find?
Well, I thought about it first because I like to kind of think. I do look them up. I did because I want to know what the different cultures think. First of all, you kind of think about what movies think too, because movies influence a lot of and books these days. I think and lore of old and of what we think about things. Right?
Yeah.
Kind of like the snake would influence some people to like them or not like them. Whether people want to agree with that or not, it does influence. That does influence people regarding snake, even if it doesn't. People listening, it does a lot of people, right? Okay, so the crow / raven. I know there are some different technical differences, but right, yeah, but together they can mean death. They can mean bad news. They can mean supposedly dark magic to some people, but they also can mean truth or truth exposed.
Okay.
And it's pretty consistent on that. And there'll be people. Now remember, I'm not talking about totem like spirit guides and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that or familiars. I'm talking about
just see
an omen.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why I wanted
you
to
get home and it's sitting on
distinguish
the roof
the
of your
difference.
house.
Exactly. So as far as and there was another one that I found that was like really good.
There's a movie with that in it. I can't remember what it is, where they crows sitting up on top of the peak of the house and the people freak out.
So yeah, so seeing a crow, well, that's because they think death, right?
Right.
In the
exactly
movies
what
usually.
it was in the movie. Yeah.
But seeing a crow means that truth is going to be exposed to you soon. I think that's pretty cool. I'm gonna start looking for those crows everywhere. Oh, but they're supposed to be unexpected.
Unexpected, yeah.
So that'd be a sign.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a sign too. So if you unexpectedly see one, it's either going to mean you're going to die or you're going to get the truth. Or maybe you're going to get the truth about dying. Or somebody else is going to die and you're going to get the truth about them dying. Just saying.
Oh, shit. Okay. What the hell?
I'm kidding. But I mean, just is like kind of what that's
Is that what it was when we saw them at the house a couple of weeks ago?
We did.
They were
I
all
took pictures.
outside.
There were like 4 of them. They were big.
Those were crows.
They were.
Do we have ravens around here? I don't think we do. I don't think they're natural.
Those weren't those kraken things, and they were just big ass
No,
krakens.
those are crows.
Okay.
I think crows are bigger than ravens too.
And they were big. And then once you see the picture, because you're zooming in, it's like, okay, like you want to put like something, when you're taking pictures, these nature photographers are so amazing, because I was like looking at Komodo dragon on National Geographic the other day.
I was thinking about that movie.
And I went, ah! I mean, literally like to open it, and I was like, whoa, that thing. I mean, you don't want to come across that as an omen, like unexpectedly on your path, like at all. Have you read about that? Do you know about those things?
I would know there's a movie with, what was his name in it? Ferris Bueller.
No, these things are not, they do not mess around, these Komodo dragons. And so anyway.
I do know about them, yes. They can swim.
But
but they're found just
so
on that one island, though.
Right. But so these National Geographic people, like, it really got me. Like, you could, even though it was like, just, like on the computer, it seemed so close and like right there. And, but like I took these pictures of these birds. Like, Neil's really good at taking pictures of birds. But I took those pictures of those crows up there, and I thought, oh, this is going to be so good. Because it's like those big old crows, like there's 4 of them up there, and I got it, and it was like, it just looks like these little dots in the tree. I zoomed in and everything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it didn't. You need like something to give it perspective to show you. See, that's a really big crow.
Well, next time have him stand by a soda can.
Yeah.
Tell that crow to get over here and stand by the soda can, or maybe throw $1
Rotel.
Throw $1. Yeah, Rotel, exactly. Throw $1 on the ground and say, "Come over here and stand your ass over here by the $1 so we can see how big."
Yeah, it's like those ducks last night. They were standing on water. They were like literally walking on water, and I took their picture, and they were like, "Okay, first of all, how are they just standing on the water?"
There was something else there.
What? No, they were just standing on top of the water.
There was something under the water. It was a spill. It's a spillway.
They were just standing on the water, and I took their picture.
All right, it did look like that. It looked like the geese were literally standing right on top of the water.
Were they geese? So they were the geese, probably the geese that had abandoned their eggs.
Did you post it?
Yeah, but they just, when I posted it, just like, they're just
All right,
some
so go back to Michelle's page. Look at that, and you can see the geese actually just
I
standing
posted
there.
on Instagram on that story that I
it's
don't know
on
how to use
Instagram?
either. Yeah, that who knows if that really got posted. Let's see. Probably not. Probably spent 30 minutes trying to post that thing, and who knows. Took 30 minutes trying to get those geese to stand still for me while they're walking on the water. And then spent another 30 minutes trying to post it, and probably didn't even get posted.
It did. I saw it.
Okay.
I just couldn't remember where I saw it,
Okay, so
but it did.
cats. Let's talk about cats.
Okay. Black cats,
Okay, so it does come
Orange
down
cats.
to color
white cats,
of cats.
pain in the butt cats like Artemis.
No, I've been calling Artemis the tiger kitty because we have this big rail up on, and
It's
so
over the loft.
Our townhouse has 4 levels. So on the big second level, Roger's built this thing so you don't the animals won't fall to their death. So because it had slats in between the rails.
You could the spindles were so big you could stick your head through them. Much less the
Loki's
cats
big
and the
head.
dog.
Yeah, and so now the cat was already sitting on the rail. Now the cat sits on top of the even taller rail, Artemis does. And so I've been taken to calling Artemis Tiger Kitty.
And he throws
And now-
anything
and
he can get in his mouth and jump up there with. He drops it over on
He
top.
throws
of
it on you, and he will tear up cardboard boxes because we still haven't unpacked anything, even though we moved in December. And he will tear it, and he will bomb it down on you, throw it down on the couch at you. It's hilarious. And so, especially if Loki is getting more attention. So where was I with this? So Loki's black and white, but so I don't know about mixtures, but all I know is Loki's
You
tiger
mean
kitty.
Artemis?
I mean, Artemis is the ruler of the kingdom, but white cats, it's if a white cat just unexpectedly walks unexpectedly. Would you say that word, please?
Unexpectedly.
Thank you. Walks across your path, that would be fertility, change, and your romance. Okay, but when we moved in, had an orange cat. I've talked about that orange cat before.
Oh, it appeared.
And it appeared. I was like, are we supposed to be here? This is kind of a strip center. There was a law firm that used to be here. What are we doing here? And it appeared and it just stared at me. Don't you question. And then when everything happened and we were supposed to close, the businesses were closing down and stuff, that cat, I was pulling up and I called my friend Joan afterwards and I told her that, because she was here when that orange cat appeared, it appeared again and it just stared at me. It didn't at the door. It was right down there where the flags are.
Oh, yeah?
Just looked at me.
Huh.
Yeah, so it was an omen of good sign because let's see what it says though. Orange, different planes of existence and spiritual travels. It's their intuition.
Okay.
That was go with it because this is all about a place of spiritual spiritual travels, different planes of intuition. Black cats, it's a change of luck. It could be good or bad. And again, some wisdom. So I think and everywhere I was looking, it was kind of the same information. So, but of course, different cultures and different people can believe different things.
Yeah.
So it's not, what you have to believe if you don't believe that. So spiritual awareness with the orange ones, increased spiritual knowledge. So I took that as a good sign that we keep seeing it. When that orange cat appears, it's good, right?
Yeah. Good.
Okay, what do you think about lizards? Remember when we were walking that day? And we with Loki and I was going to say Lizzie.
Yeah.
But it was Lizzie, and
Lizzie,
we just
lizard.
random,
Yep.
Was that lizard?
Yeah, lizard
Just kind of
chilling in the sun.
that's not so unexpected to see a lizard, but
We have one of the green ones by the front door.
oh, cool. But so lizards, I thought this one was kind of interesting because it said you need to pay more attention to your dreams. They are about to reveal a great truth, a sign that you are on the right path. I found that one kind of interesting. So, again, an omen. If you saw a lizard, that could be an omen of that. And lizard alchemists believe that they were very, very lucky. Just because I'm into the whole transmutation and alchemy stuff right now, Yeah, the lizards. Have y'all ever heard that?
That's cool.
My friend Megan told me I put we put a frog outside our door because I never really knew how much frogs were considered to be good luck.
That I didn't
But when
know.
we were doing our Third Eye podcast, she talked about it, and so right after I got one, remember, and put it out there. But I didn't know lizards.
We went when I lived in Nashville and I was a sales manager. We went and bought these little green frogs. They're about that big, you know. But we bought every sales rep one of these little glass green frogs to carry in the car with them. We had the best month of all time.
Maybe we need some green frogs for everybody.
I know, right?
Around here, yeah. So does anybody say anything about their stories about?
Oh yeah, we got a few people.
Let's say some of what they're saying because they probably know a lot more than we do about it.
So like Leslie, she says she has a whole family of rabbits in her yard, buried under a rose bush. Rabbits are brave enough to be in my yard with 7 dogs. Is an omen that I can heal the rose.
Okay, you know what else, Leslie? I found out that that's some people also think that means they think some of them either that fairies are around, but even more so, they think they're fairies. I'd never heard that before, ever. So they think they're fairies because I just fertility and abundance and fairies. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
So who else?
Carlton was talking about the Blue Jays here.
So So we're about to
and
get
how big they are.
They are, and so we're about to get my friend Barb Chevalier's books back in, Searching for Blue Jays, about when her son Brian was shot. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but he was shot by a serial wannabe killer.
Mm-hmm.
When was that? Gosh, it was in Frisco.
Frisco.
So it was a teenager his same age, I believe. Knocked on.
I don't say 14, but that's not right.
Well, he was 14.
Yeah.
Brian was, and knocked on
So
his
it's probably
front
been
door.
like 10 or 12 years ago then.
Yeah, so I lived in Starwood in Frisco, and they lived a neighborhood over, and the kid had already shot at a family right around the corner from me in Frisco, then knocked on Barb's front door and shot her 14-year-old son. You need to read the book. Brian is doing well now, but it's an incredible book, but it's called Searching for Blue Jays, because that was a sign that God gave her. And I was talking to Barb the other day because she's in my book, and you have to get permission, releases and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was like, Barb, I need one from you, and Brian, I need those releases. And the biggest Blue Jays have been showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like right out the window, outside the window.
And at our house too.
And we're about to and I was like, we got to get your book back in here.
Yeah.
So she got some. So you guys, it's called Searching for Blue Jays by Barb Chevalier. It's also on Kindle. You should get it if you don't have it. It's really, really good. Yeah, Barbara Chevalier.
Yeah.
And it's Chevalier's like spelled the French way.
The French way.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Okay. So, but
I'd had to look it up if I-
CHEV, however, from there.
I would have had to look it up.
But on that rabbit thing too, Leslie, it's cool what you said, and it's also it means if it crosses your path, which good gosh, like here in Texas, like in Frisco, Plano, they do everywhere. We saw a little one last night. Oh no, the other night when we were walking.
Yeah.
Little baby one, but we used to see more up in Frisco.
Oh yeah.
They were everywhere.
Yeah.
It means your
Frisco's
luck
filled
is
with
about to change. Place your trust in God or the universe, and it also means fertility and abundance. We know it means fertility because there's a bunch of them.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so who else is saying?
Dawn said it's our 3rd year to have Mama Ducky nest in their yard.
Oh, cool.
And sorry, where did it go? Oh, and every year has been they have been financially blessed.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's good. That's really cool.
So wait, Mama Duck with
They've
eggs?
had duckies, nest in their
okay.
yard, and they've been financially blessed every year.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So it can mean new beginnings and abundance.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there was somebody, who was it? Was talking about when Where was it?
Did we get an answer if ominous always
It
means?
means both.
It means both?
Yeah.
I thought so, because if omen means both, then ominous had to mean both. But doesn't it always seem to have the connotation ominous of negative? Yeah.
Yeah. It
Good to
sounds
know.
like a word. It would be like a bad word.
Well, because you think of omen as both, but it would have to be both if omen is both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to know. While you're looking, deer, I thought this one was interesting. I think of deer as so gentle and kind, this again is where I'm going to, as a spirit guide. They're one of the traditional Native American on the medicine wheel and stuff guides, and they're I mean, it's like associated with, for me, with rose quartz. They're all about compassion. But one of the meanings, if they are as an omen, they could mean adversity, but it also could mean the need to remain steadfast. And I guess because of help me, antlers?
Antlers?
I was going to say horns.
Close enough.
Antlers. Sorry. You need to
Those spiky sticks out of their
uphold your
head.
dignity. So
Spiky
that's
sticks.
where that comes from. Like uphold your dignity. So it means that if it it's all of a sudden you just see a deer, and it also stands for purity, which is associated. The purity is associated with the animal totem also. Yeah. What about scorpions? I do not want. Dawn did a great job of going through the stages of. She was going through the stages of a Scorpio, because I'm married to a Scorpio, you guys.
Because we're awesome.
Well, and then I was thinking about it. I'm like, Sun is Cancer, me. Moon is Scorpio. I'm thinking that's not such a good combo. That's a lot of emotion.
Why is it not a good combo? It could
Well,
be a
good.
great
You
combo.
live
You
with
know
me.
why?
Why?
Because it's complete opposite.
Oh, because Scorpios are
Because
mean
they
and
feed off
Cancers
e-
are nice.
I think it's
I'm
the other
kidding.
way around.
I'm kidding. Oh, well, Cancers are really emotional, and I don't know. I'm not going to. But anyway, Dawn did a great job of talking about Scorpios and Scorpions in our new moon. But Scorpions as a omen.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I would say it would be of watch where you're headed to. Watch your path.
Okay. So again, it kind of is
attention.
both. So it could be, some people think it means, something kind of pretty negative, like unexpected death.
Mm-hmm.
So omens can be bad, obviously. Self-preservation, divine judgment. So like you're going to get your karma. That's divine judgment, right? I would think.
Mm-hmm.
Healing, psychic visions, or psychic intuition, things like that.
Okay.
Scorpion. So if you see a scorpion, I do not want to. I remember moving into that same house where I saw the fox and things like that. Maybe it is just out there in Frisco because we're invading their whole territory. But man, there were when we first moved in, there were some scorpions.
Tarantulas.
Probably.
They're
but
out there too.
Scorpions. Yeah. So who else? Anybody else say some?
Actually.
Or do you want to go to some that aren't animals?
Okay.
Oh, but let me say one. Black beetles.
Black beetles. Okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
Not the June bugs. The others.
Well, they're called the Death Watch beetle.
Huh.
But this was a superstition.
Okay.
But let's admit, superstitions are kind of interesting. And
All
the omens that are negative and kind of spooky, they're kind of more interesting. You don't want those. You don't want all the crows flying into your house. But I think it's kind of fun to watch them, like on the movie.
On the movie.
Some people don't like that, but I do. Okay, so
All right. So these
Death
black
Watch
beetles.
beetle.
Are yours.
So the old superstition says a black beetle crawling across your shoe or tapping inside a wall is a sign of death to come. Now, wouldn't that be like kind of creepy?
They tap inside the wall.
Yeah. Do you remember when we were in Tucson and that like really fancy house and that thing kept tapping in the wall?
Like that.
Yeah. What was that? Remember?
I don't know.
Oh, there were
I tried to
werewolves
convince
there too.
I tried to convince Erica that it was something in the basement to go in the basement, and she wouldn't.
They told us not to go in the basement.
And I told her.
Now,
there was
what do
something
you
down there.
do when somebody tells you not to go in the basement? In the movies, they always go in the basement, but you're sitting there going, "Why are you going in the basement?" But every one of us went down in that basement. I did, didn't you?
No, I didn't go in the basement. I didn't need to go in the basement. There's nothing down there.
They told us not to go in the basement.
You went?
Yes. You at least opened it.
Oh yeah, open door. I didn't go down
Of course you did. I knew you did. You're
there. I went
totally
down there.
lying if you said
I
you
saw
didn't
those
open that
eyes
door.
looking back, and I didn't
No,
go.
but you would
They were
totally
yellow.
you would
Yellow eyes
totally
looking
be
back. I wasn't
lying
going
to
back down
me
there.
if you said you did not at least open that door to that basement. I know you too well. I know you. Okay, so some versions of this say you can avoid this unwelcome fate by safely transporting the beetle outside.
I'm gonna drop kick that bitch out the door.
You're gonna have to talk.
What, you didn't like that one?
That's no.
They beetles, they can fly. Can black beetles fly?
That's probably, and you know what's going to happen? You'll find out it's not a beetle, it's one of those stink bugs.
It's not. You can definitely tell the difference between a stink bug and a beetle.
I wouldn't be able to tell.
One's round, one's triangle shaped.
No.
Oh my God.
No. Okay.
I can give it to
So-
Loki. He'll bat it around and then eat it
Yeah.
like he does the June bugs.
Oh, some cultures believe that rabbits, these are superstitions now.
Is this a rabbit's
I'm going to
foot?
get off subject. Well, yes, because some people believe they're witches in disguise. So they don't always believe. And bats, also, some people think those are evil spirits in disguise, but in Poland and in China, they think that's a sign of a long and happy life. So it depends on where you live. But don't even go with anything like I shouldn't even brought up bats.
I'm going
Just stop, and I shouldn't have said
long,
that.
happy life.
Okay, we're gonna check. Yeah. Okay.
What about ladybugs?
Oh wait, fox. Fox is on here. Ladybugs. Good luck.
I know. I saw one. I went and sold a big job today.
Did you?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yep. I did.
Thanks, Ladybug. So fox, because I saw those little fox. They've always known to be a bit mischievous. They have plenty of lore surrounding them. A single fox, which is not what I saw, crossing their path is considered good luck. Uh-oh. This was a long time ago, but it was around the time I met Roger, so let's see what it says. But watch out for a group of foxes. They are considered a sign of great misfortune. There were 3 of them.
That was not when I met you.
I'm kidding. Sort of. All right, so what else?
What about coyote? Because who was it? I think it was Ashley said that she saw a coyote running across the front of her car, thought that was a big dog, and then saw it was a coyote.
Oh, yeah? So what did she think? Did she say?
She didn't say.
All right, so I think I saw coyote. Didn't you? Did you get coyote?
Yeah, but you
Well, those are a lot out in Frisco and stuff, and like Plano. We see them a lot.
Yeah.
So I know about them animal totem wise.
How about butterflies?
Well, let's think about Cody. What do you think it would be? Let's get some people saying what they think that would be.
Oh, okay. So guys, chime in.
Oh, coyote.
Now's
I
your
found
time.
it. But tell
Coyote.
us what you think.
Chime in
Then
now.
Coyote, you want me to say?
Go ahead.
This doesn't mean it's right necessarily, but the general opinion is for an omen is Ashley. It's the need to balance work and play, let go of what does not bring you joy, the need to increase laughter. Someone may play a trick on you. Expect the unexpected. What trick can we play on Ashley? I'm kidding.
Oh, we can.
Something with Zoltar.
Yes.
All right.
We'll Zoltar call her later.
Yeah. Okay, so what else?
Let's see here. I was looking. This is kind of dumb because it talks about new brooms. Oh, spilling milk on the floor.
Well, that's a superstition.
Yeah. That's kind of weird. Some of these are superstitions
I
and
can't
some
say
aren't.
the word, but yeah, so
Superstition.
let's talk about what else. So we talked about weather. That to me sort of doesn't fit the definition though, because like, okay, it's an omen. I guess it would be out of the blue.
You could.
Like all of a sudden,
You could have.
in
You
Texas.
could be raining like crazy, and then there's a rainbow.
Right.
Doesn't
That
belong
would be,
It really is much.
unless you asked for a sign, then that would be a sign.
Can you show me a rainbow?
No, like, could you give me a sign that everything's going to be okay, and then all of a sudden there was a rainbow? That'd be a sign. But if you didn't ask for anything, and it was raining and everything, and then all of a sudden there's just a rainbow, that would be an omen. And you never think of a rainbow as an omen, but that's a good example.
Okay.
It'd be an omen of hope, right?
Yeah.
And keeping promises or whatever you want to
or
think of it
Lucky
as.
Charms
Yeah. And
to go eat.
no, you just have to pick out the marshmallow part.
I don't like any of it.
Oh, I love those things. You
Lucky
put the
Charms are
marshmallows.
nasty.
No, you just have to they
like
need
eating-
to make those, but
It's like
just
eating
with the
cardboard with sugar on it.
No, they just need to make them just with the
You
Why did they
can.
not
You
ever
can-
do that?
You can. You can buy just the marshmallows. If I'm
Really?
not mistaken. Yes.
Really?
I'm pretty sure you can buy the Lucky Charm marshmallows only. Yes.
I never knew that.
I'm pretty sure you can. Can't you? Have you seen that?
I
Lucky
can't-
Charm marshmallows only. I think you can buy just that. It's like a
Why
bag about
hasn't
so
anybody
big.
ever told me that?
Because they still taste like fucking cardboard.
Roger, it's probably not as fun to pick out.
I'll buy you a box.
You don't feel as lucky.
Just make
though.
sure once you pick them out, you throw that shit away.
You don't. Oh my God, what's wrong with your mouth? You don't feel as lucky getting that marshmallow. He's just trying to get me going. Y'all know that, right? Somebody told me that the other day.
That I was trying to get you going.
Yeah, every time you start doing it.
It works.
I know. Okay, so fireflies. I like fire. I can't even fly.
Lightning bugs. Only
Did
bug
you ever
around who
catch
asses
'em?
lights up.
Did
Yep.
you? Oh my gosh.
Get a big old quart jar, pop some holes in the top.
Does it kill them?
No, we let them out before they,
How
we
long
catch
do
them.
those live?
I don't know. We always caught them and then we released them. Catch and release, babe. Catch and release.
Why do they light up?
Because their ass is on fire.
No, but really.
I don't know. Chemical reaction in their butts.
I shouldn't have asked again. I thought you might really have an answer. Like, might really
Here,
know.
lightning bugs.
So the omen.
Shit, it helps if you can spell it right.
The
Lightning
omen.
bug.
Well, firefly.
Yeah. Here, I'm looking it up and I'll tell you. You keep talking about it.
The need. Well, I'm sure they want to know that now much more than the omen. But if you see them, it's the need to live in accordance with nature. Okay, I would think a lot of nature stuff would be that, and the need to manage energy. That makes sense. But in your context now, I can't even think about it. Just ruined it for me. Poor lightning bugs.
They live for 2 years, 1 to 2 years.
And a sign to let your light shine. It's illumination, inspiration, and accomplishment. Firefly. So
Firefly.
if you see them, that's about. It's a sign. But see, they're using the word sign. They just ruined it for me. It's an omen to let your light shine. This little light of mine.
This little light of mine.
So, Roger,
That's my.
what is it? You looked up how long they live?
I'm
but
trying
not-
1 to 2 years. Yes, I'm trying to find out how their ass lights up.
Somebody please, talk. So I don't have to. Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, how the hell do you have all this information on here, but you don't say how they light up?
That would be helpful. Does
Right.
anybody know? Is Wesley Conrad watching
Wes,
this?
where the hell are you when I need you?
Wesopedia, are you watching? Because Wesopedia would definitely.
This one, sure,
no.
just-
Oh, I'm just hitting the thing. Okay, so ants. Y'all know about ants?
They'll sting the shit out of you.
No. Are you just trying to kill me? Oh my gosh. Oh.
Well,
Okay,
tell us
so
about the
if
ants.
ants are just crossing your path, have you ever seen that? Like you're walking on the sidewalk or something, and you're just,
Yes.
they're just crossing. So this is kind of a superstition, but I think you could turn this into what would the omen be of that? I think we should use our intuition and say what the omen would be of that.
Okay.
So if you haven't asked for a sign and then you just saw them crossing your path, what would that be? There is a superstition of it as to some say never to hop over them. That would be bad luck. So kind of like, so that's confusing. Well, I guess, so you're supposed to step on them? Or you're supposed to walk around them? That's confusing because it's the opposite of don't step on the crack. It'll break your mother's back. Now you're not supposed to hop over. You're supposed to hop over the crack, but you're not supposed to hop over the ants? That's like really confusing me.
What are you supposed to do with the ants if you
You
can't
have
hop
to
over
tell
them?
the ants, excuse me, or you have to wait for them to get across the path, or you have to walk around the ants,
What if it's a big old long line?
or
of
you have to,
ants?
because you're not going to step on the ants. So that one makes absolutely no sense.
Okay.
Right?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. So what else you got?
What else? Because I was trying to find about the Fireflies, but I couldn't find anything.
I don't even want you to talk about them anymore. What about dragonflies?
I think they're a carrier of messages to you.
Yeah, but also they can be spirits of, or if you see them unexpectedly. So you see them a lot by water, right?
Yes.
Okay. And it's cool. We're not doing totems, but it is cool if you see them to go and look them up. If they're blue or they're red, that's usually the color, right? Blue or red.
Or green.
Or green. But to
I
go,
don't know if I've ever seen a red one.
yeah.
Oh.
So go look them up and see what color it is because it will make a difference. Not for omens necessarily, but for like if it's one of your with the like animal guides. And it might for the omen too. But they're usually like in between worlds.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also, if you see them unexpectedly, it may be a indication that an ancestor is trying to get your attention.
I see them all the time at the pond or the lake, and I was always told there are snake doctors and they're watching the snakes, so you better stay away from the water. I think it was just them trying to scare me to stay away from the water. Never heard that one?
What are they? Snake doctors?
Yeah, instead of firefly or dragonflies.
Oh, so
And
they're
they would
like,
tell me they were following snakes around and to stay away from the water
yeah.
because that's where
Never
they
heard
were.
that one. I think they were trying to keep you away from them.
I do too.
Because you probably just jumped right in, didn't you?
Hell no, I saw those snakes in there.
Oh, so
They were
you didn't.
copperheads.
Ooh.
They weren't water snakes. They were copperheads.
Well, then, if
And
they're not water
cottonmouths.
snakes, why are they in the water?
Copperheads and cottonmouths. They'd be
But no,
right on the
wait.
edge of the water catching the fish.
Okay, so they weren't in the water.
No, they'd be on the edge of the water, not in the water. But they'd swim across.
But you just said they weren't water snakes.
All snakes can swim.
I bet that is not true.
I tell you what, next time you're in the pool, I'll catch a rattlesnake and I'll just toss it in. Let's see
No,
how
you
fast, who swims faster, you or him.
The rattlesnake. But I will,
Okay.
because I'm not that good of a swimmer. But I bet you not all snakes can swim.
What about fly? Can
No,
snakes
no,
fly?
you're trying to deflect. I challenge you guys, find me a snake that cannot swim.
An anaconda can.
I
Didn't you see that movie?
I didn't-
Ice Cube didn't have
He's
a chance.
trying to
He
deflect.
got his ass eat up.
find me, you guys, find me a snake that cannot swim because he
I
just
bet you
said
there's
they
more
can
that
all
can swim that can't
That's not what you
swim.
said though.
Oh my God.
Fake news. He just said. Okay.
Listen here, DT.
So, so.
Matt said
Dragonfly-
you're over on your time.
Dragonfly, huh? What? What'd you say?
Matt said you're over on your time.
Did he? Dragonflies can also be, I said ancestors,
Yeah.
but
Ancestral dragonflies.
but they're associated with fairies too. See, and I've said this before though, like so for around here, might go, oh yeah, fairies. But if you live in like New Zealand, where else? Scotland. Probably even England.
All parts of the UK, yeah.
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 You
They
believe
be-
in fairies.
Yeah, they
Most
believe in
everybody,
fairies,
yeah.
yeah. Because there's the airport where they
You've heard me tell this story.
Yeah.
Tell it.
where they actually redirected the runway because of the fairy tree.
What kind of tree was it?
I don't remember. I just remember it was a fairy tree.
Hawthorn.
Hawthorn tree. Yeah, that's what it was. Exactly.
And they did. Cost a lot of money, too.
Yep.
But they give us strength and wisdom. Dragonflies are pretty cool. But do look up what... Literally, y'all start seeing them, right? Because we're going to hopefully get out, like, by the water.
Hope so.
Red, blue, green. Look it up. So it's going to make a difference. Okay, so... What else? We had eggs. There's other things, though. What else in nature?
How about
I mean, we're
fallen
limited.
trees? You know what fallen trees mean?
Tell me.
There's a Bigfoot nearby and pushed it down. Don't go that way. Change direction.
I mean, it seems like an obstacle,
It
but
means change direction.
I wouldn't just immediately think Bigfoot, but
I don't know
would.
if I believe that.
Huh?
I think you would believe that.
Did anybody find a snake that cannot
No, Carlene
swim?
said snakes can swim. Told you.
All snakes, Carlene?
She
All
said snakes can swim.
Like, there is not one exception. There's not one.
There is one exception.
Land-bound
There is
snake.
one exception.
Which one?
The rubber snake.
Okay, do y'all know what when I had this landscaper come and put all these flowers and spent all this money, and they told me to put, I said, how do you keep the rabbits from eating all the flowers? And I literally went to that, what was it called? The Rainforest Cafe, because they told me the only way to keep the rabbits, literally, seriously, they told me the only way to keep the rabbits from eating the flowers was to put rubber snakes in the flower beds. So I went out there to that rainforest and spent all this money to take my kids out there and their friends and everybody. We went out there and got a bunch of rubber snakes because that was a big house I had at the time, and there were a bunch of freaking flowers. Yeah, that didn't work. Then they told me to put like fox urine or something. Now maybe that's real. But I was like, now I don't believe y'all. So was
And
it?
that would have stunk up the entire house and neighborhood.
They must have really hated me because I went and got a bunch of those snakes. Those rubber snakes. A
All
bunch
those
of
rubber
them.
snakes.
What?
All those rubber snakes.
From that, y'all remember that Rainforest Cafe?
Yes. Did you ever eat there?
Is it still? That was a cool place.
Carlene
Kids
said
loved
rum works too. Rum works.
it. To keep away what?
The snakes or
Roger, or to help the snake swim? Or
helps. No, no, helps with the rabbits. Actually, if you drink enough rum, you won't care about the rabbits.
That would have been cheaper than those snakes. Let me just tell you, because I bought a lot of those dadgum snakes. Yeah. So that I'm on a mission to find a snake that cannot swim.
Yeah, well, you'll have to Google that one because everybody agrees with me.
Every single snake in the whole world can swim. There is always an exception.
Y'all know she can't see this, so I'm just telling her, right?
There's always an exception.
And Lex even says, Google says snakes can swim. Yikes.
All of them.
Look, when we used to go to that big creek called Bear Creek, and you would canoe down it. It was just it was a big creek, but it was muddy. But snakes would be over on the trees, and then all of a sudden you'd be canoeing under the tree, and it would bloop, down in the canoe with you.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I'd be
So you had
in
to
the
pick
water.
him up and put him in the water.
Oh, no.
Or sometimes you'd hear it splash, go.
Oh, no. Okay, see, that's I just kind of spit. That's the kind of thing that, like, oh, no. So that's unexpected. Well, maybe there was expected, but that would be unexpected to me. And so that would be an omen. And that would be an omen of I'm not coming here anymore. And probably that I'm going to fall out of that canoe and drown because I can't swim like snakes can. And
I think
clearly,
that's happened a couple of times. People
that
fell
snake, I'm going to have dreams. And I don't mind snakes so much. But I don't like the thought of a snake swimming with me. I like being in the lake, but I don't want to think about the snakes.
They're sometimes underwater too.
It's just stop, because now I won't. And I don't even like it's like it's one thing if you know they're there and you're like, hello, I see you, you stay there, I stay here, yeah, okay. But thinking they're just like out hanging out, waiting just to come out and bite you, Now I know they all swim, like every single snake in the whole world
They're
can
probably
swim.
swimming around. They're like, oh, look, that's a nice ass to bite.
Oh my gosh. Now I don't have to worry because if it has to be nice ass, then I have no concerns because they'll just stay away from me. So there, I'm safe now. Okay, that's solved. But in our neighborhood, we do have a lot of them that are in, they do swim.
Snakes.
Yeah, snakes, check. Okay, so are we time's up?
Time's up.
Time's way up, huh? I'm sure you guys have learned so much about omens. I've learned one thing. That
Snakes
all
will bite you on the ass.
That all
Oh.
snakes swim. Thank you, Carlene, for taking his side. Let's see. What else have I learned? Don't even say anything else. I did learn that, thank you, whoever looked up ominous. I'm so glad to know because that would have
That
just
was
really
Ashley and
disturbed.
Gretchen?
It really would have disturbed me if omens are all good and it can be good and bad, but then ominous was only bad. That would have disturbed me. So,
Carla, I'm sorry for my mouth.
yeah, Carla. See, I think
Carla's going to be the one mad at me.
there's going to be an animal,
probably get a
an
phone
omen
call.
for that. Now something's going to like fly into our window tonight.
I'll probably get a phone call from Carla later telling me how bad I am.
Yeah. Well, he's him. That's for sure. All right. So time's up. No readings, right? We're over.
Right.
We're
Yep,
over
we're
time,
over
and we
time.
were late too. So
Oh, we're like, not only that, yeah.
we were late. We're over time. We're late. We're everything. Just very. And he's cussed the whole time. So
Not the whole time.
we've done. Now we're gonna go have a drink. No, I'm kidding. So
Probably
I'm gonna
two.
go write some more.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I don't know. Tanner's in town, so we're going to go see Tanner and Jordan. All right, so that's it, right?
That's it.
Y'all can write more about everything you guys know about omens, but no superstition stuff. Let's find some scary omen stuff.
Scary
Yeah.
omens.
Yeah, I tried to find the positive because everybody thinks about the negative. All right, so that's it for this week. You can listen to SoulWhat on Spotify, the iHeart Radio app, Google Podcast. Stop it. iTunes, and of course by watching live on YouTube at Michelle Soultopia and on both of our Facebook pages at SoulWhat and Soultopia Holistic Boutique. Thank you for listening to SoulWhat, where we discuss and you decide what is important to your soul. Good night.
Good night, guys.